Hey everyone, Nubkeks here. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Li Ming. First of all, we're going to go through the draft, and this one ends up having a few twists and turns in it that I think you'll find interesting and have a pretty big impact on how the game goes down. So we're here on Garden of Terror, yeah, I'm going to pick kind of Li Ming pretty early on in the draft. She doesn't stand out as being particularly exceptional on Garden of Terror, anything like that. She's pretty good on most maps. Not too map specific hero, I would say. One nice thing about Li Ming on Garden of Terror is, of course, I even forgot the name, and I think I take it. I'll tell you when we get into the game and I see the talent, because I think I do take it. But it's the regen globe talent for Li Ming at level 1, which gives you more mana from your regen globes and also gives you spell power when you pick one up. So because those drop off the Garden Terrors, the Garden Shamblers, when you're fighting them, that can be nice to kind of get you more map uptime for Li Ming. That's a relatively small thing though. She's got lots of very strong level 1 talent, so it's not a big deal, but kind of nice for this particular map. So we got, really interesting start to this draft. So they picked up Johanna. I'm kind of thinking, okay, so Li Ming, she's okay in the map. Johanna's kind of anti-physical damage more so. So Li Ming should actually work pretty well here. We're going to grab a Tychus too, so he'll be able to put on some pretty good damage to the Johanna if she overextends. He should be able to kind of kite backwards from her as well. Good ability damage too. He gets blinded, he can go into his Q, that sort of channel, that sort of stuff. So it's not the end of the world if he does get blinded, so that's quite nice. Tychus also good at shredding down the Garden Terrors, of course. So cool stuff. The enemy team looks like they're going for a blind comp, so they've got a really good 3-man team here with Johanna, Oriel, and Cassia, so they can apply blinds with all 3 of the heroes, which ups Cassia's damage. Cassia does a ridiculous amount of teamfight damage, which will provide tons of energy to Oriel, so she can do tons of healing. It's an insanely strong 3-man. You probably round it out with like a good solo laner and then a second support, something like a Rhaegar would be pretty much ridiculous, and we'd be in a really nasty spot if that happened. We grab Dehaka as our solo laner, so we have nice global presence. We're gonna grab Malfurion, which is okay as a support. He'll bring good wave clear, which is kind of useful and good against merc camps. So that should be decent enough. We shouldn't probably need a cleanse. So yeah, it's all right. It's an all right pick. And then we're looking at probably an ETC as our final pick. Now this is where the draft takes a turn for the crazy and the unexpected. Because the enemy team, again, you're expecting something like Rhaegar and, I don't know, something like a Sonya. Be pretty good for them. Obviously we banned out our Tana so that their solo laner that does blinds is gone when they go for the Cho'Gall. Cho'Gall out of nowhere. So yeah, now we've got to deal with a Cho'Gall. And we do have Tychus already, which is pretty nice. That's really going to help us with that. So it's pretty unusual because the Cassia is already there as the Oriel battery. She's already providing and doing tons of damage and providing energy to the Cassia. So the Cho'Gall definitely took me by surprise. I'd say like a Nubkeks would stand out. It's probably the best thing for us now. But our teammate, he must not play a Nubkeks. I don't know the guy. But a Nubkeks would be pretty good to cocoon the Cho'Gall and like dive the Oriel, something like that. Be alright. She might panic and not put the crown over onto the Cassia. But this should work out okay too. And there you go, that's the draft. Pretty nuts. Let's see how it goes when we get to the game. Alrighty guys, here we are. Power Hungry. That was the name of the talent. Power Hungry. So getting spell power, more mana for that. Normally my favorite talent at level 1 by far is Force Armor, which is super duper strong. That's whenever you hit an enemy hero with magic missiles, you get spell block, which does your next ability that hits you does half damage. And you can have 4 charges, which is really good. The enemy team, though, they don't have very much in terms of hard-hitting abilities. In fact, when you look at them, they've got a lot of very quick-hitting, softly-hitting abilities for the most part. I mean, the Cho'Gall bomb build, that's kind of hits super hard, but that's kind of the only thing, and they've got a lot of stuff that could shred it off very quickly, like Johanna blinds, just Johanna stuff in general, the Cassia stuff as well is not going to do too much damage. And I can probably play around. I should be able to. That should be the intent, is to play around the bombs from Cho'Gall as Li Ming, because we're very mobile and small. Excuse me, my chair is clunking in the background. So that's kind of our goal there. Everyone goes very far forwards. They get pulled in. We're taking huge damage. not looking too good, and we're just trying to poke as Li Ming as we go. Dahak has gone up top, so he's soaking up top. And this is going to be one of the big advantages for us, is that the enemy team, they've got a pretty damn strong 5-man team, but when they have to split up, they don't function all that well when they're kind of split up. So that's quite nice. In terms of, they might have to have even, I don't know, Johanna on her own for a good portion of the fight. Probably Cho'Gall and Elaine on their own as well. Keep the Cassia and the Oriole together. It's hard to say, or maybe the Cassia on her own and have the Oriole go with the Cho'Gall. That's one of the weaknesses. But you can see here that I'm kind of punishing them and capitalizing on this, is that, well, they've actually left everyone else in middle. They have not sent anyone down bottom. And look at the XP. We're already half a level ahead this early on in the game because they simply didn't send anyone to soak. So I pushed in the bottom pretty hard, trying to hit the Cassia and miss her with everything. Hooray. But yeah, so I pushed in the bottom as hard as I could. One little tip as to Li Ming is that you... Again, we miss her with everything. I was expecting to keep running. She actually did a nice juke to the left. If I'd actually hit her with those spells, I think she would have died. But it was a nice juke from her, not running straight in that line to the side. Luckily, the Cho'Gall does die on the other side, though, which is fantastic news for us. The Johanna and Oriole actually combo together. Not the best combo out of all of their team and all of the options that they've got going. Little tip is Li Ming is obviously your orb does more damage. Your arcane orb does more damage the further away you are. So one thing that you can do is, of course, walk backwards. Usually with the minion wave, to clear it out as efficiently as possible, you want to walk backwards and to the side of the minion wave. So you want to hit it with a long range orb, kind of side on, so that the orb splashes across as many minions as possible. That's kind of something that you can do. So yeah, there's kind of interesting little things that can go on there. Now we are ahead in terms of seeds, which is nice. Again, the enemy team, like I said, they've got... Oh, we actually hit Johanna, didn't expect to. They have some difficulties when it comes to splitting across the map. Because their team not as good when they're split up. So we're just trying to stay safe. We're trying to not group up with our team so that the Cho'Gall AoE can get good value. We're just trying to poke away as much as we can. You can see we are running low on mana, though, having some mana issues. Seeing if we can finish off this terror, walk forwards to grab those seeds. Again, feeling pretty safe. Cho'Gall sounds super low, and I think, yeah, we just about managed to pick him off with that missile. Miss the Johanna, don't get the kill on her, but a kill on Cho'Gall. We've got a couple so far, which is really nice for the start of the game. It's super good if you can punish a Cho'Gall comp early. If I was more confident in my own Li Ming play and in the team there, I think that would have been another kill if we dived that. I was kind of backing off and being a little bit too safe. I'm actually not that good at Li Ming, right? I've got her a pretty high level, but I feel like she's one of those characters that she's very difficult to play, right? She's all about skill shots. They've got very unique travel patterns and paths. So to make the absolute most out of Li Ming, I think she's really a hero that you'll thrive on if you play a lot, right? She's one of those heroes that rewards players that play her an awful lot. For a player like me, where I tend to dabble between many heroes at a time, doesn't work out all that well, and I just know from myself and my results in Hero League that she's just not a hero that I'm very good at. I just don't have the accuracy required. That case in point right there. Totally missed that tear. Don't have the accuracy required. Missing Johanna right here as well to make the most out of Li Ming. And that's what you need to do. Remember, it's one of the misnomers I've seen about Li Ming from players is kind of going, certainly when Li Ming was overtuned, this was one of the beliefs, was that, oh, well, Li Ming, her cooldowns are really short. You can just spam. It doesn't even matter if you miss most of your abilities. Well, of course, it actually does matter if you miss or not. You need to be hitting a large proportion of your skill shots to make it worthwhile. Also worth noting in terms of Li Ming as well is that relative to other mages and other burst characters, of course you're going to be weaker in the team fight until your team gets some kills. Why is that? Because she, of course, as well, is balanced around the idea of her trait, which is you get resets when you kill an enemy hero. What that means is you'll become very, very powerful very quickly, and a big part of the skill is playing around your expected resets when you do secure takedowns. But in a team fight where you've not managed to kill anyone, Li Ming's definitely gonna struggle, right? She's gonna struggle. So I feel like this is part of the problem with Li Ming at the moment in Hero League. She's still quite popular in pro play, but certainly in Hero League where double support is very popular, so teams are quite difficult to kill, and where focus, fire, and coordination is just, you know, by definition from 5 strangers is often quite lacking, it can be quite difficult to actually get value out of Li Ming, because it can be difficult to actually get the kills and get the resets. But she's very flashy when you do get ahead, because you get a number of resets in a row. So that's one of the big problems with Li Ming has been that, not so much anymore, I think people have kind of clued into it now, but I remember making videos and it took a long time for people to come around to the realization that Li Ming actually isn't all that strong, because they're basing that idea off of, well, when she kills me it looks amazing, so she must be really... It just makes a big impact psychologically on people. But yeah, she's had a very low win rate for a long time now in Hero League, and I think those are some of the factors that go into it. Definitely some of the factors that go into it. But yeah, you need to be accurate. She's balanced around high accuracy on her skills. She's balanced around getting kills and getting resets. And if you don't have high accuracy, or if you're not getting those resets, you're going to be underperforming relative to other damage dealers. And that's why I'm not good at her, for example, is that, well, for me, the problem is accuracy. Not as good as it ought to be for the level of play that I'd be at, right? So yeah, anyway, I think it played pretty well in this game, all things considered. But for example, one thing that a highly skilled Li Ming player can do, someone that's very familiar with the character, picking up Wave of Force here at level 10, is that you can knock someone back with Wave of Force and knock them into like a full hit of your W, your Arcane Orb, and all of your magic missiles. Now, I've got no idea. I have no practice doing that, right? So I have no idea how to do it, how to aim stuff in such a way that you can do that, you know, knowing precisely how far you're just having the timings all perfect and knowing like, okay, yeah, if I do my spells in this particular order and place them in these particular spots, I'll hit this person with Wave of Force, I'll knock them exactly this amount of distance, all my other spells will converge on that point at the same time. Not something that I can do, but something that a very good Li Ming player could. So these are kind of some of the interesting things we want to consider. So again, here we saw that the enemy team went very far towards the top, so kind of collapsing in towards the bottom. They don't have their damage dealers here, so that's why I'm going pretty aggressive. And we managed to push down some towers to get ourselves some XP. They killed Tychus and they're pushing in the other lanes, so that's okay. But we want to make stuff happen down here in return. Just trying to do this. So we're looking for the... Okay, like this, there is a nice Wave of Force, but you could see that the magic missiles I threw out were nowhere near accurate enough. Unfortunately, our ETC is being really scared. This was a great opportunity for us to actually dive them super aggressively. So, for example, when that fight initiated, we could see on the minimap that Cho'Gall was staying in middle, Cassia was staying in top, so they weren't actually anywhere near us. So we could do some pretty good... I think that was the time to actually force the advantage. And if we had forced that advantage, probably could have got that kill on that Oriole there. So the team fight keeps going on. Enemy team closer to these seats than we are, and we're just kind of poking as we back off. We've got a well to tap, so that's fine. Get our mana back more than our health. Not too worried about my health in this game. Like, I'm pretty set, unless I go in for a super aggressive play, like diving in with Calamity, which is what I've got at 7. That's kind of the only thing I need to be super concerned about, for the most part. You can see exactly why I've totally fat fingered that, by the way. That's why the score screen came up, and I got totally confused. So it's like, ah, shit, there's a score screen right on my on the middle of the screen. That's not good. It's a talent built anyway. Dominance at level 4. Takedowns heal us for a fifth of our HP, 20%. Calamity at level 7, so our teleport now does damage in an area. Wave of Force at 10. I'm going to pick up Illusionist at 13, which increases our teleport range by 50%. I can give resets if we lose a big chunk of our HP, mostly for the range in this game. And I think in this game I get Diamond Skin at 16, so when we teleport we get a shield for our max HP. So just looking to build damage to capitalize in on that. So that's a really nice mosh pit. This Oriole's out of position, we're able to Wave of Force her back into our team, and we're able to keep the dive going. So that's a really good team fight there from us. They didn't have the interrupt available for that mosh pit, and we're able to pick them off within it. Everything kind of comes up spades. Tychus is in his Odin shelling away as well, and we're able to get some pretty good damage down. You see here I'm still being pretty aggressive, I'm still pretty far forwards. You see him even diving in on that Cho'Gall. Oh, we were so close to getting the kill. Not quite, but we're close. Just understanding in this game the limits. You can see that's also one of the... I didn't mention this. This is one of the other big... missed, whoops. One of the other big skill points in terms of Li Ming is with the Calamity build, which is level 7, teleport doing damage. Teleporting in aggressively is very important, and you're obviously a very low health squishy hero. So it becomes very important that you understand and can play around the enemy cooldowns appropriately. It's pretty easy in this game, but yeah, you need to understand those and play around those and be ready to capitalize on that sort of stuff. So know when you can go in, and part of that as well is calculating the takedowns. Like, yeah, I can teleport in here, I know I'll get a reset, and then I can come back out afterwards. It's going to be fine. It's like understanding and knowing all that sort of stuff is such a huge deal to playing the hero properly. Johanna's diving in. We're going to teleport in on Johanna, do some pretty good damage to her. And you see I'm continuing to chase onto this Cassie, just knowing that we're in a good spot. It will teleport in on her. Cho'Gall actually does a big chunk of damage. Cassie does eventually go down. At this point, we've run out of mana, so there's not all that much we can do. Now, you do have enough mana regen that you can pretty much fire off Qs on cooldown, even with no mana. You'll get enough back to do it. And yeah, that's kind of what we want to do at this point, I think, is to focus in on securing these seeds. We're doing laning stuff. That's a pity. I think that's a waste of opportunity. But yeah, I think securing the seeds would be pretty nice at this point. Get those down and then kind of regroup with our terror. Or split push somewhere else. Probably defend against their terror more so than anything. They've got less bodies, so we've got more freedom to move around the map. I'm going to come up here and soak this wave, just get some free XP for our team. You can see that kind of the terrors and the two teams are having a bit of a standoff towards the middle. We can bring our terror straight onto keep, so this is advantage us. This is advantage us. No harm soaking that little bit of XP, maybe get us to level 16 for this push. Also bear in mind that I get the, we do take out the Oriole on the backside as well. I do get bonus mana right when I clear a wave because I get lots of mana back from the regen globes thanks to Power Hungry at 1. So that's another reason to split push that side wave. Our team did a great job in the meantime as well, catching them out. But yeah, this is advantage us. See, their terror is actually pushing in towards our keep, so we need to watch out for that. But that terror leaving means that we could push in. We get a keep of our own. He actually stopped to go through a fort, so that's very, very nice. It's going to throw a bit of extra damage out here. You see Tychus is going back. Just going to throw out another rotation with the regen globes. Now, ETC overstays, which is a big problem. To destroy a tower doesn't matter. Luckily for ETC, the towers are going to be removed in the next big patch, so happy days for him. Malf, I think, tries to stay to save ETC and just dies. I stopped my Hearthstone to maybe assist, but they're so far out of position that there's no way. Tychus has pushed the terror back, which is good. I'm going to come alongside, help Tychus out, because he's diving me and DP's expecting me to rotate. So I need to come and help him out. It's a nice juke from Johanna. She survives thanks to Falling Sword. He would have killed her apart from that. He's trying to help Tychus. I'm kind of worried there. I think it's level 13 talent, trying to heal him up. We're pretty safe because we've got Illusionist and Diamond Skin, so we got plenty of tankiness and healing for ourselves. We actually get a reset there from Illusionist. I think the bomb is pretty much the only thing that can trigger it in this game. So with Illusionist, if you take more than 20% of your HP at once and damage, it resets teleport, which is also nice. It's pretty difficult though. There's not that many things that can trigger that, so yeah. At this point though, we just want to try and defend here. Dahaka is split pushing top and putting pressure on the keep, so that's nice. Gone in. I'm not sure exactly what went on there. I didn't quite see it. We're kind of posturing towards the top. Probably a mistake for Malfurion. Bear in mind that Dahaka is split pushing this whole time, which is probably not. It's kind of hard to say, you know. It's hard to say because we didn't see the play that happened with the Malf and the Tychus, so it's hard to say. But yeah, that certainly makes it difficult. Once the Tychus dies, it becomes super hard. That probably Dahaka staying and split pushing is the right idea. You can come in when the Tychus respawns, but losing a keep for just getting some keep wall damage is not super ideal. ETC's going in real deep. This is a big risk because Tychus still isn't back. Bear that in mind. Malf is in an awful spot. He should make it back. He does make it back to the fountain. That's good. Tychus respawns now. This is huge. Tychus is coming in. Good isolation onto the beautiful mosh pit as well. We're able to come through. We're getting some Li Ming resets. Silent Twilight Dream right at the end. And that's a full team wipe of the enemy team. They just overstayed. They overstayed big time. They got the keep, right? And then why didn't they back off? This is the big question. It's a mistake I see all the time. All the time. But right there, they destroyed the keep. I mean, you saw ETC make the exact same mistake on our team in this very same game. They destroy the keep. Are they going to destroy our core? No, they don't have enough to destroy the core. They're down very far in terms of XP. We have enough people to defend against it. So why are they staying down bottom lane? All they're doing is staying there until Tychus respawns and putting themselves in a bad position. That's what happens. Tychus respawns and we just kill their entire team. The question you have to ask at that point is, why are they there? What do they hope? What is their goal? What are they trying to achieve? There's nothing for them to achieve except their deaths. Instead, they should just say, we destroyed a keep, great. Let's back up. Let's heal up. Depush our lanes. Our core's taking some damage. Top lane's pushed in. Back up. Depush those lanes. Get that XP. Start equalizing XP. Get in a nice position to get a terror. Because if we get a terror, we can win the game with the terror down bottom. But we're not going to win it down bottom yet. So yeah, all that sort of stuff always worth considering. There you go. You can see the talent build for this game. Thought it was a pretty interesting one. Kind of ended very, very quickly. But that's kind of the impact that those silly mistakes can have. And you see those silly mistakes very consistently in Heroes across most skill levels, it has to be said. So yeah, just be aware of that yourself in your own games as well. And that was a look at Li Ming. Hope you enjoyed, because I don't do Li Ming stuff very often, because I'm not that good at her. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Give it a thumbs up if you did. See you all next time for some more Heroes of the Storm. Bye-bye.